Yo, tell me right now, what does it feel like to finally see a great DC movie streamed at the same time it hits movie theaters? And are you ready for some Hollywood drama? The Suicide Squad is now officially out, and boy, it is something. I hope you saw it already, but if you didn't, I'll hold off on the spoilers. Writer/director James Gunn delivered on his promises and made a movie that's gory, funny, and by all reviews, significantly better than the first Suicide Squad. And David Ayer, the director of the previous movie, got incredibly salty and started some drama. But first, let's look at the Suicide Squad as it is now, the most well-received movie from DC in history. A team of unlikely heroes, and I'm using the biggest air quotes possible, is shipped to the South American island nation of Corto Maltese, where they have to take down a villain that's basically a modern-day Mengele. There's tons of gore, from hacked-off head to exploding ones, a dude who detaches dots from his suit to fight, and a psychedelic scene set inside an eyeball. You'd think this is just a non-stop dumb action sequence, but somehow, James Gunn managed to combine this with a surprisingly decent critique of the US and its foreign policy. That is, for a movie that features a serious character called Polka Dot Man. As you probably know by now, this isn't exactly a sequel, but more of a do-over. The Suicide Squad lost some big names, Will Smith being the biggest, Jared Leto the cringiest, but the people added to the roster are simply fantastic. Like I said, Will Smith as Deadshot was out, and initially was thought to be replaced by Idris Elba. But Idris is actually playing a new character called Bloodsport, famous for shooting Superman in the DC universe. Then there's John Cena as the ruthless Peacemaker, almost a bizarro world Captain America, if Captain America was a total douche. Speaking of total douche, Captain Boomerang is back, played again to perfection by Jai Courtney. Viola Davis is also back in her role as Amanda Waller, and who could ever complain about Viola? Then we have the big surprises. The first one is Sylvester Stallone as a fish-human hybrid called King Shark. In the comics, this unlikely character was a hammerhead shark, but James Gunn found it weird to film that, since the eyes are at the sides of the head. So he replaced the hammerhead with a great white shark, and I'm pretty happy for the change. Another surprise is Peter Capaldi, who you might know from Doctor Who. The actor is no stranger to the cheesy side of things, but I was surprised with how much gusto he approached the supervillain role here. Still, the biggest surprise, and the one that totally sums up this movie, must be Polka Dot Man. Yeah, if you don't know your DC lore, this universe actually has a character called Polka Dot Man, a Batman villain so stupid it actually becomes art in the Suicide Squad. And not just because those dots on his outfit, being of different sizes, aren't actually polka dots. Anyway, James Gunn, the writer for this movie, actually managed to take the dumbest DC character of all time, in his own words, and turn him into someone you can't help but root for. And if you were wondering where you know this dude from, David Dastmalchian, the actor, also played the Joker's henchman who taunted Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight, and he was part of Paul Rudd's team in the Ant-Man movies. In total, he has 3 good superhero movie roles under his belt, plus 2 cool TV shows, Gotham and The Flash. I'd say this guy should start hitting the machines in Vegas. He can sure land them jackpots. And speaking of jackpots, that's probably what David Ayer, the director of the first Suicide Squad movie, hoped to achieve, but he didn't. This movie flopped harder than a dead squid, almost killing any possibility for a franchise, and gave Ayer a horrible reputation. That's why he's taking a page from Zack Snyder's book and kinda asking for a do-over. Immediately after the glowing reviews started pouring in for the 2021 Suicide Squad, David Ayer took to Twitter to show his saltiness, half begging the studio and half acting like one of those keyboard warriors. Just like with the Zack Snyder cut I was telling you about a few moments back, the director is insisting that what was shown in movie theaters and on streaming apps is definitely not what they envisioned and worked for. Ayer posted a huge statement on his Twitter featuring a hilarious quote considering just how much dirt he spilled on Warner Brothers. In the 3rd page of this statement, he says that, and I'm quoting directly here folks, "I never told my side of the story, and I never will. Why? Same reason no one will ever know what happened on my submarine. I keep my covenants. I'm old school like that." First off, the covenants typo aside, there's 2 pages preceding this statement where Ayer is saying what happened with Suicide Squad. In a nutshell, based on this statement and some previous ones, the studio cut his movie in a different way, turning it from a dark and gritty drama into a Deadpool ripoff capable of competing with Guardians of the Galaxy. They did reshoots and basically Frankensteined it into the mess you saw a few years ago. Obviously, the movie flopped and took Ayer's reputation down with it, so that's why the director is now furiously tweeting and dishing out the drama. Understandable, right? I totally get why he is hurt and disappointed, and I would like to see them release the David Ayer cut. But personally, I cringed so hard I felt my abs for the first time since the lockdown started. Reading the David Ayer statement feels like opening your Reddit inbox and skimming through a long, rambling, crazy mix of a resume and a death threat. Remember this copy pasta?
What the did you just f***ing say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs, and I've been involved in numerous secret raids on Al-Qaeda, and I have over 300 confirmed kills.
Now compare it with David Ayer's post. He doesn't just dedicate a paragraph or two talking about himself, he uses 2 out of the 3 pages telling us about his troubled and badass life. Okay, sir, I understand you had a horrible life, losing a parent on Christmas morning, being in foster care, being beaten by the cops, seeing people die on the street, being on a nuclear submarine while running out of food. But sir, this is a Wendy's. That's all. Sir, this is a Wendy's. We come here for junk food and the chance to watch some superheroes blowing up roofs. We then open Twitter for some cute banter between the actors, not a new Navy SEALs copy pasta from the director of the previous movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not making fun of David Ayer's life or skills because he had an incredible and complicated life and he did do some amazing movies. Hopefully, he'll one day do a true story based on his own life. I'd watch it. Anyway, I'm simply saying that this statement is kind of turning me off the David Ayer cut. It's 4 pages long and the timing is kind of nasty since it came out while everyone was celebrating a fun new movie. I don't know. It's like we're all out partying and having a good time, and then suddenly someone busts down the door and starts saying how they've been through hell and back, while also saying they're never going to talk about this experience while talking a lot and generally just putting a damper on the mood. It's only at the end of the letter he finds some grace and congratulates the team of the new movie. So, what do you think? Is it right for David Ayer to be releasing the statement right now when everybody is enjoying the Suicide Squad? Am I alone in thinking it's a bit much? Let's talk about it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm off now because there's a free movie marathon right now on TiVo Plus with movies based on true stories, and they have Bernie, a fantastic and little-known gem with Jack Black and Matthew McConaughey. But that's for another episode, maybe. Until next time, do hit like and subscribe to this channel if you didn't already. It helps me bring you more episodes like this. Catch you later.